I am Heidi Benjaminson, your host of Confidence Coaching, a podcast for mothers who want solid relationships with their teens. Life isn't a spectator sport. Success comes to those who show up every day with a pocket full of courage, grit, and a little sparkle. I'm glad you're here. Hello, welcome to episode 140, When People Hurt Us. Welcome, friends and listeners. Happy July 2022. If you are listening as this episode is released, I am sending you relaxing vibes. I hope you're relaxing or focusing on taking care of your needs, as well as helping and serving those around you. I'm taking a few new clients now who want help anchoring themselves, managing their own worry and anxiety as they send their children to college. We're coaching on a schedule that works for them, getting them calm and excited, and projecting confidence that their college student can handle what they need to handle. This season, it is a lot. It's big changes. Our influence is huge over our children and our ability to release control, let go, and confidently let them learn and grow. It's big, y'all. It's huge. So sign up for a consult call or DM me if you want to get started to get you through early fall. I want to tell you of a recent situation I had where I was physically hurt by someone, how I managed my mind, and how this applies to situations when we are emotionally hurt. A month or so ago, I was getting a manicure at the place that I always get it done, and by the woman who always does it. And in my opinion, she's just one of the best manicurists that there are. I ask for her each time, and I still do, even after this experience. She started my manicure and was using that tool that cuts off cuticles or something. And she accidentally cut a huge chunk off my finger. I think she thought she was cutting a bunch of dead skin off. Well, she cut all of the layers of the skin, a big portion by the nail of my left index finger. It bled and bled and bled. Honestly, it really did not stop bleeding for 2 days. She applied all of her stuff to try to stop it. She put disinfectant on it. It was a mess. When she did it, I yelled, "Ouch!" pretty loud. It was my body's reflex to getting hurt. We respond without thinking in a way to protect ourselves. My lower brain wanted the pain to stop. So we are designed to do what we need to do to stay safe. My finger was pretty hurt though, and I know this woman felt awful. She then had to finish the manicure, and like I said, the bleeding, it really wasn't stopping. So I had at least 40 minutes to sit with the physical discomfort I felt, and also to know she felt really bad about hurting me. Now, because I am a coach and I'm constantly diagramming what I'm thinking in my mind, how I perceive other people may be feeling, what is my responsibility and what is another person's responsibility and such, I had a lot of time to ponder, how do I want to act and respond in this situation where I have been accidentally hurt, but really hurt. I wanted to acknowledge and own my own pain, not to dismiss it or downplay it, thinking that, oh no, I didn't want her to feel guilty. Both of those things are true. I was hurt, and it was okay for her to feel guilty. I told myself, it's okay she feels guilty. She did something that she wants to avoid doing in the future. She made a mistake, and guilt teaches us to learn and to not do it again. Guilt is a healthy human emotion. Without it, we don't grow. So I didn't downplay the hurt to manage her emotions. I also didn't exaggerate the pain or react or stomp out or say things to hurt her. I could accept my pain and injury, and I knew it needed to be dealt with, and it was an accident. And I could like how I treated this other human who made a mistake, because I'm human. And heavens knows that I've made mistakes, and I have and will feel guilty. I want to stop here, and I want to point something out, which has big implications for our emotional pain. She hurt me accidentally. The cut, though, still needed to be treated. It needed to heal. It needed to be cared for. It took almost 2 weeks for it to fully heal. Just because it was an accident didn't mean the pain wasn't there or it didn't need treatment. I'll talk about that in a moment and how this applies to emotional hurt. Okay, when the manicure was over, she said something under her breath about only paying some smaller amount, I think. I didn't really hear her, and I had already decided to pay her the full amount. She did a great manicure. If she had said don't pay anything, well, that would have been okay too. I was really anchored in being okay to pay because it's who I want to be, and taking in all the factors, everything into consideration, that was fine. I had to treat the cut for many days, making sure that there was no infection. It hurt, but it did heal. And a few weeks later, I went back to her for another manicure. She had hurt me. I still think she does the best manicure. I didn't make it a bigger deal than it was. I like how I handled myself. I didn't react in an immature or inappropriate way. I also liked that I acknowledged the hurt to myself and to her. I had my own back. Now, since we're humans, we're going to get emotionally hurt by others. We're going to take offense when people act in their unintentional or even intentional humanness. Our teens will tell us they hate us and we're bad parents. In this situation, I continue to have a relationship with the person who accidentally hurt me physically. We get to choose if we continue or stop a relationship with someone who has hurt us emotionally. We have to take the many factors into consideration. How big was the hurt? Was it accidental or intentional? Is it recurring, or maybe was it miscommunication and they promptly apologized? It's okay for us to feel guilty when we hurt others. It's okay for others to feel guilty when they hurt us. Guilt is a teacher. We don't need to manage other people's guilt. We need to have our own backs and honor the pain in our lives. Years ago, a friend made some hurtful comments in a joking way about transvestites, and another friend in the conversation was hurt, as her brother is trans. Just because the person saying the comments was ignorant and it was accidental doesn't mean the hurt doesn't still exist. When we hurt others accidentally, we still need to apologize and make amends. Like my cut needed 2 weeks of treatment, accidental emotional hurt also takes time, maybe medication and healing. We can't gaslight ourselves by saying, "Oh, stop hurting. It was an accident. He didn't mean it." Imagine me dismissing and not dealing with the pain of my cut. It would have become infected and grown into a bigger problem. This is what happens when we stuff away and disregard emotional pain. It festers and grows into something bigger that's harder to heal. We are also always, 100% of the time, responsible for how we respond when we are hurt. Just like me loudly exclaiming, "ouch," with a hurt finger, our brain may do things to protect us. We may retreat from people to stay safe. We may cry. We may use a tone of voice or act defending ourselves. We have to take responsibility for these defenses and also take full responsibility of how we continue to treat and act towards everyone in our life. We are responsible for hurtful things we say, if we do. When someone hurts us, this isn't a reason or excuse to be hurtful back. Imagine if I had lashed out and said mean things to the manicurist. I would have created a much bigger issue. I would have hurt myself more in the long run. We hear all the time people blaming other people for their actions. And yes, anger and rage can be appropriate responses in some situations. They're needed to get people's attention. We just need to use them at the right time and place. Imagine the opposite of this. Imagine if in the nail situation, I had assumed more responsibility for the guilt and negative that the manicurist was feeling. Imagine if I bent over backwards to try to make her feel good, if I had wanted to cheer her up, if I had minimized my pain, acting as if there was no reason for her to feel guilty. This sends the message that I don't have confidence that she can handle normal human emotions. I send the message that she isn't mature enough, not a big girl, to be an adult, to handle the complexity of life. Mature, healthy relationships and friendships include people who don't caretake the emotions of others. We sit with and allow others to feel how they need to. We don't rush them through or minimize what they're going through. It's important that we always value ourselves, our emotions, that we have our back, and we stay away from repeated hurtful situations and people. When we see signs that someone doesn't care for others, we don't need to associate with this person. Our emotional self wants safety. It wants boundaries when they're needed. We love ourselves and others when we remove ourselves if we realize that we can't conduct or control how we act in a way that we would be proud of. Even if someone has hurt us, we want to like how we show up. We want to choose love for ourselves and for others. Now, maybe you've been hurt, even accidentally, and you need therapy, counseling, and medication. Get it. Don't tell yourself it wasn't intentional, that the person was maybe continuing patterns or cycles that they were also innocent in. It doesn't matter. Your pain needs to be addressed and healed, like my finger. This pain is a separate matter from the reasons the other person inflicted the injury, be it accidental or intentional. My brother one time said a quote that I use now all the time with my clients. An accidental gunshot wound still needs to be treated and healed like any other gunshot wound. Let me finish by saying this work of being able to slow down our thinking, to manage our emotions, to separate our emotions from those of others, to allow the discomfort of guilt, be it our guilt or someone else's negative emotion. This is the result of using the tools I teach and continue to build on and create. We have our own back. We heal ourselves. We stop the hurt cycles, and we project confidence that other people in our lives are capable of feeling and managing their lives, emotional or otherwise. Okay, that's it for this week. If you would like personalized weekly private one-on-one coaching to give your own family the gift of your confidence, sign up for a consult call at HeidiBenjaminson.com. A confident mother is the greatest gift to her family, not a perfect mother. Our families want us to feel confident, anchored, and calm. I can help you uncover this version of yourself. Have a great week.